Hi, I'm Dr. Hussein Musa,
Hi, I'm Dr. Adatone Musa.
and we're the Kingdom Docs.
I'm a board certified neurologist.
I'm a board certified anesthesiologist.
And today we're going to continue our marriage conversation.
Yes. Now, what does marriage have to do with healing talks?
Yes, you're probably wondering why two doctors are talking about marriage. It's super important because being a doctor is also a ministry. And the Bible does say that we have to minister first in our homes
Yes.
and get our homes in order before we're able to minister to other people.
Yes. So it's important to have a healthy marriage so you have the compassion, you have the ability to pour into your patients and provide healing.
Yes. And we had touched on many topics, but one recurring problem in some marriages is intimacy.
Yes. And it can be very uncomfortable to be intimate or exposed with your partner, not just physically, but just emotionally, especially with your past and your concerns and worries and insecurities. That's what intimacy is.
That is what intimacy is. Exposure. It's almost like being naked, but not just physically, it can be emotionally, it can go down to the soul and the spirit. And so I wanted to define intimacy because I love definitions in the dictionary.
You're not a nerd at all.
I am highly intelligent, not a nerd. But intimacy is described as a close familiarity or friendship, closeness. An example is the intimacy between a husband and a wife. And in our experience, we've discovered that intimacy can be defined differently between a husband and a wife. They may have different definitions of intimacy, correct?
That is very true. For some, intimacy can be actual physical intimacy, holding hand, acts of affection. But for other people, it can be, hey, come run outside in this blazing Texas heat with me and sweat, puddles and puddles of sweat, and that makes me feel loved and intimate. I'm not saying whose idea of intimacy that is, but that is an idea of intimacy.
So just for background for that, I am an avid runner and I love to run. And sometimes I like to exercise with my husband. And when he expresses interest in running 3 miles outside, it really makes me feel close to him. Now, the oodles of sweat, I don't know. Maybe you need to work out more. I don't sweat that much.
that was a little petty. And I feel that intimacy kind of, I'm starting to pull back right now.
Okay, but all jokes aside, it is important to know what is important to your spouse as far as intimacy. It's almost kind of like a love language. I know that there are other relationship gurus out there that talk about love languages. So it's important to understand what your spouse will respond to.
Yes, and each relationship is unique. But the beautiful thing is you have a guidance manual. You have the Bible. And God defines what love is. Love is patient, love is kind. I mean, these are some real checklists. So when you're angry and having that argument, go down the checklist and see what love is. Well, God says love is patient, kind. Love doesn't keep records of right and wrongs.
Yes, it does. And love is gentle.
And gentle,
it's very important to be gentle sometimes. And it's also important, it says in Ephesians 4:26, in your anger do not sin, do not let the sun go down while you are still angry.
I think that's just great advice. At the end of the day, there has to be a time limit for how long you're going to get the cold shoulder.
It's true. There are some marriages that have cold wars. There are some that have nuclear fallouts.
Nuclear fallouts are dangerous.
Yes, but it really depends. All of it is a manifestation of anger, though.
Yes.
And it's very important to resolve that, because in that anger, if you start to become resentful, if you start to become bitter, you might sin in that anger. So forgive quickly.
Yes. So cherish your intimacy, guard your intimacy.
Yes, guard your heart above all else.
Yes, and she's my heart.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you guys for joining us, Healing Talks with the Kingdom Docs.
Visit us at kingdomdocs.com.
See you next time.
God bless.